Now, Advocate Morara George Boakuma, practicing legal and constitutional matters in the city of Kisii and Nairobi, an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and a certified mediator. Now, today is on 26th of August 2025. Same day, same time, same month, 15 years ago, there was wild celebration because in a day's time, in hours' time, Kenya was about to promulgate a new constitution. The new constitution, Constitution of Kenya 2010, that has come as an effort of agitation, which was both bloody and peaceful through a period since the pre-independence and post-independence constitution that the Kenyan citizen persevered in. The post-independence Kenya constitution, that was the Lancaster House Constitution, was not a perfect document for this country in that it brought into effect marginalization and other issues, more so issues to do with fundamental human rights being infringed on the citizens of this country. Matters of ownership, both public and private property, matters of children were not really well defined in the post-election constitution. The agitation for the Constitution 2010 took a bath of agitation from activists, citizens, legal experts, professionals, young and old, white and black, regardless of race or creed, to come to the document that was being promulgated on 27th of the year 2010. Through the journey of the promulgation of the Constitution, it has not been a bed of roses. The Constitution brought into effect the Bill of Rights, which successive regimes had violated blatantly, with impunity and with total disregard to what is really important, or rather what is pleasing to the masses. It is today 15 years down the road since the promulgation of the Constitution. There have been gains in the Constitution 2010. There have been setbacks and pitfalls in implementation of the Constitution. Several decisions, or rather several matters, have been filed in the courts of law to try and push the regimes in power to implement to totality the Constitution that was promulgated. But today, what can we say? Indeed, Kenya is enjoying the fruits of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Devolution being one of the core factors that were lacking in the former constitution, the post-independence constitution, devolution and its fruits have been enjoyed by all and sundry, all corners of the nation of Kenya. The Republic of Kenya have enjoyed the fruits of devolution. Nevertheless, as much as we can celebrate about gains that have been made in the Constitution of 2010 through the 15 years, there have also been efforts by regimes, by individuals, by institutions to frustrate the implementation, to frustrate the total implementation of the Constitution, and also affecting the respective provisions of the articles of the Constitution 2010. Going forward, political will has been a key player in frustrating the implementation of the Constitution. The citizenry of this country could be better off by enjoying the fruits of the Constitution of 2010. Being that in the entire world, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is the most progressive. It's a better document, which is a blend of other constitutions of other democracies which are successful and populous, like India, the United States of America, South Africa, Indonesia, Pakistan, and Britain. It is, I believe, it is a desire that as the preamble of the Constitution, that we, the citizens of this nation, all sovereignty is bestowed upon us, that the successive regimes, the leadership class, and other people who are charged with responsibility, that they will give space for the total and complete implementation of the Constitution. Thank you.
All right, Wakili, there is one thing that people have been lauding, that this 2010 Constitution brought in the term limits, the presidential term limits, and the gubernatorial term limits. So what can you say about it as the custodian of law?
Now, the Constitution of Kenya 2010, among its provisions, it brought about the leadership and integrity. That is chapter 6. Now, the reason why the drafters of the Constitution contemplated that a presidency should run for a period not more than 10 years is now that to cure the mischief of dictatorial tendencies that come whenever a leader has overstayed in leadership. Secondly, when you look at the trends of the leadership, leaders will perform whenever they have particular time limits. They will perform and do what is right between the time they take power or they are sent to power and the time they are getting out of power. For one reason, that they will have checks and balances in what they do, so that they don't go to the excesses and they don't do anything that is beyond the limits or the provisions of the Constitution. So it is a provision which is really positive from where I sit or where I stand as a constitutional legal expert. Time limits are mandatory and they're okay for this nation. So the gubernatorial positions also, we have seen the governors having that in mind, that they have 2 terms. It will make them to be more efficient and effective in their performances.
All right. Given an opportunity, because I know very well that you might have read the whole Constitution.
Yes.
If you are given an opportunity to amend just one aspect of that law, which one will you go for?
Oh, definitely what I may go for in the amendment of the Constitution, there are particular key areas. The key areas that need to be strengthened are the areas that have slightly given the presidency or the executive some powers, which powers have been misused by the executive due to misinterpretation of the document itself, the Constitution. Now, there's some of the particular provisions, like in the public prosecution, also needs an amendment that it can give room or space for private individuals to commence prosecution of particular cases or particular individuals. Thirdly, there is a very sensitive issue that needs to be relooked in this constitution about recalling of elected leaders, both in the bicameral house, that is the Senate and the National Assembly, and even the county assemblies. These are areas that need to be relooked at. Now, then there is the public finance. The public finance area is very sensitive because it is giving, that is where the room of the wastages in our country are coming in to stall development. That is public procurement and public finance. Now, these areas need to be relooked so that we can avoid instances that the executive is going out of his way now to use a middle ground of bringing in the military to do projects because security projects are not audited. It's a middle ground of stealing the resources, stealing finances from the public. So it should be closed completely that our president will not sleep, wake up, and direct that a particular project is going to be undertaken by the military. For the simple reason, knowing that the military or intelligence or security expenditures are not audited, are not open to the auditor general. So these are parts that need to be relooked in the constitution. Then the other areas that need also to be relooked is areas of adding some input into the children's matters. The children's matters, there's a bit of input that needs to be added into the constitution, to be entrenched in the constitution, not in the relevant laws. Then there are quite a number, but those are the key areas that me as a person, I can say that need to. But the problem is not about adding any part of the constitution, subtracting or adding anything. It's about implementing this document in totality. The Constitution of Kenya is the most productive. It is a constitution that is admired, envied by everybody in the world.
All right. In your statement, you said that that constitution is the most progressive constitution in the entire world.
It is.
What will be your happiness if that constitution was fully implemented? What gains will the people of Kenya receive?
The one thing that you have, the fourth estate, I appreciate that you have come for us to give a feedback of the constitution, this 15th anniversary. I can say that if this constitution is implemented in totality, Kenya will be a paradise in democracy, a paradise in financial management, a paradise in resource management, a paradise in harmony, a paradise in peace, and superseding and cutting across everything, because the constitution contains everything and anything that is needed in the nation of Kenya to be productive, to be the most progressive country in the world.
All right, to finish with, what do you think is hindering anyone in this government from implementing that constitution fully?
The challenge that we have is that I would say it without fear or favor, that we have had dictators, and underline that word. Dictators are people who don't want to be told what to do, but they want to say what to be done. But I would rather wish that the leadership of this nation will be a leadership that has internalized the document or the constitution and implemented it for the good of the citizens, not for the good of their own beings. So there is no issue about that. What has gone wrong is the leadership, the political goodwill has frustrated and trumped this document to look like just a mere document or a mere paper.
All right, your final message to the Kenyans on this Katiba Day.
Now, Katiba Day, it is a time to saunter and be proud that we have a constitution that is mindful of a well-being of every citizen of this country. My wish for the Kenyans is that Kenyans will stand up and protect this constitution. My wish is that Kenyans will come out and stand and fight and protect the Constitution against it being mutilated by the political class. My wish is that Kenyans will be a people who are ready to be receptive to be for the Constitution, whether when they're doing right or when they're doing wrong. They pray that the implementation of the Constitution is something that is paramount.